Alright, so you're trying to get 5 on APUS history. Seems very difficult, but it's very doable. Here's how. I'll give you guys 5 tips that I use throughout my time of APUS history. I'm going to show you guys how to utilize these 5 strategies throughout the school year so that you as well can also receive that amazing score on the AP exam. Because if I did it, you can too. Tip number 1. This is going to be a plug for my absolute favorite content creator of all time, Heimler's History. If you're trying to get a 5, I really suggest getting his ultimate review packet. It costs $25, but in my opinion, that was the best investment that I've ever made throughout my history learning experience in high school. I was able to learn and review so much content with his about 25 to 40 minute videos for each unit. And so with those videos, I would take notes and I would essentially just view the whole video. Sometimes I wouldn't be paying attention, but if that was the case, I would just follow up with his videos on YouTube, and I would take his practice tests that are in the review packet. So I think that $25 investment is so helpful. It includes practice tests and everything like that. You should also be getting review books as well. Some people like the Princeton review books, some people like the Barron's review books, but in my opinion, I think the Princeton review book would be better for APUSH because, in my opinion, the Princeton review books are better for the humanities while Barron's are better for STEM. So my next tip is to practice your composition skills. You can either do this by taking AP Lang. If you've done that already, then that's amazing. Or you can just practice your essay writing skills because that is a huge part of it. And although this is kind of becoming a little diminished with the DBQ becoming much easier this year, you still need to practice your composition skills to create a good essay. For example, you need to be able to write a good thesis with a good line of reasoning, and through that essay, you have to be able to support that line of reasoning going back to it while analyzing that historical perspective that you are establishing. Additionally, for the essays, you need to be practicing your analyzing of historical documents. So you can just read your textbook or find some practice documents online, but it's necessary to be able to understand the perspective of the documents. So my third tip is spaced repetition of the content. So in my opinion, it does not work if you're just reading your textbook. No, that's not going to help you. You need to actively take notes on the textbook. You need to actively be reading. That can be listening to music while you're doing that. But so as you're taking these notes throughout the year, you need to go back to them and you need to cover your notes up and you need to repeat what it is saying so that in your mind you're having this going through your head. But you need to do this in a chronological manner because in the AP exam, chronology matters more in your writing than memorizing specific dates, because that will give you a better, more complex response to the person who's grading your essays. So my fourth tip is in relation to the multiple choice section. So honestly, in my opinion, the multiple choice section is super simple if you are able to, 1, analyze the historical perspective of the person, and 2, utilize the two-choice strategy of APUSH. So for any history test, for any history AP exam, there are usually 2 answers that are blatantly incorrect because they have nothing to do with the stimulus, okay? While the other 2 answers are, one is the right one and one is the distractor answer, in which one of them is obviously the right answer that you're looking for, and the other one is an answer that seems right. It could be right if you have a superficial understanding of the content. So with that being said, to get a good score on the multiple choice section, you need to both understand the chronology and the cultural and social economic vibes of each time period. And for my last tip, this one's kind of like a generic tip, but doing practice tests and managing your and developing your time management skills, those are very important things that are going to help you move from that 3 or 4 into that 5 range, because you need to be able to read those stimuli really quickly and be able to get a understanding based off of even the author of the stimulus. You should be able to understand the stimulus, and that just really goes back to knowing the content like the back of your hand. So you should be knowing all the content, and you should be using that content, consolidating it in your mind, and making historical connections in order to boost your time management. And so, with that being said, that'll help you with that multiple choice section, but for the essay section, that's just a matter of practice. The short answer responses, those are kind of like the multiple choice in my opinion, because those have very straightforward responses, and you don't need to really know your essay writing skills for that. But for the LEQ and the DBQ, you really need to practice your essay writing skills and the timed pressure of the AP exam. So yeah, those are the 5 strategies that I used in order to get a 5 on APUSH, and you can definitely use those as well. So yeah, if you took anything out of this video, thank you. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want. But yeah, thank you guys so much. See you guys in the next one. Bradley Forever out.